14. My Amish father chose my husband to settle a debt. I found the receipt 40 years later. The paper felt dry as onion skin. Kerosene lamp burned low beside me. Snow tapped against the window glass. The room smelled of cedar and old cloth. My hands would not stay still. Quilt across my lap held the faint scent of wood smoke from winters long gone. My husband had been buried 23 days earlier. I was sorting through things we had kept for nearly half a century when something stiff slid from a seam that should have held nothing at all and landed against my skirt with a sound softer than a falling leaf. I did not know yet that one small paper would make me question the story of my own marriage. What I am about to tell you I have never said aloud. My name is Mary Amish Home, and here on this channel we share the quiet stories that often stay hidden inside families for years. If these kinds of memories speak to your heart, I hope you will subscribe and stay a while. And tell me this. Have you ever found an old object that changed the way you saw someone you loved? Now let me take you back. My name is Mary Amish Home, and here on this channel we share the quiet stories that often stay hidden inside families for years. If these kinds of memories speak to your heart, I hope you will subscribe and stay a while. And tell me this. Have you ever found an old object that changed the way you saw someone you loved? Now let me take you back. My thumb stayed against the paper. The ink had faded to a soft brown. The letters were uneven in places, as though the writer had paused more than once before finishing the thought. The quilt rested across my knees. The lamp hissed quietly. Outside, the winter wind moved through the bare trees behind the barn. For a long moment, I could not make myself read another word. I simply stared. Then I leaned closer and sounded the words silently in my mind. The note was short, much shorter than I expected. That was what unsettled me. Not anger, not shock. The plainness of it. The way life-changing things sometimes arrive dressed as ordinary bookkeeping. The name on the paper was Eli Weaver. I had not spoken that name aloud in more than half a century. He owned land west of our farm. He was respected in our district, careful with money, careful with promises. The note listed a debt owed by my father. Then came a payment entered during the same week Samuel and I married. Beneath it was one final line written in smaller letters. Remaining amount forgiven upon marriage agreement. That was all. No confession. No explanation. No hidden story laid out neatly for me. Only a few words connecting my wedding week to a debt I never knew existed. The room seemed very still. I wish I could tell you I understood everything at once. I did not. Instead, memories began moving through my mind like loose pages caught by the wind. My father's long silences. The late-night visits. My mother's tired eyes. Samuel's sudden welcome at our table. Each memory remained the same, yet somehow looked different standing beside that receipt. The paper did not prove that anyone traded a daughter. It did not prove what was in my father's heart, but it showed something else. It showed that money and marriage had crossed paths in ways I had never imagined. The truth arrived quietly. No thunder, no shouting, just ink, paper, and a lamp burning low. For several minutes I sat without moving. Then I remembered my wedding morning, my mother fastening my prayer cap, my father standing near the door, Samuel waiting outside. I had always believed my mother's tears came from the ordinary sorrow of watching a daughter leave home. Perhaps they did. Perhaps they came from something more. Age teaches that both things can be true. A woman can be happy and worried, grateful and afraid, loving and uncertain. Looking back, I think my mother carried knowledge she wished she did not have. Yet she carried it anyway. That quilt passed through her hands. That receipt passed through her hands. So did I. The hardest part was Samuel. Had the paper been about a cruel man, my thoughts might have settled more easily. But Samuel was not cruel. He was patient when I was stubborn, gentle when grief visited our home, faithful through 47 years of harvests, sickness, storms, and small joys. He carved toys for grandchildren, fixed broken hinges without complaint, sat beside me through long winters. The receipt did not erase any of that, yet neither could I pretend it meant nothing. 3 things sat before me that night: the paper, the marriage, the years, the paper, the marriage, the years. None of them could be separated now. I also had to face my own silence. There were questions I never asked, moments I let pass, changes I accepted because everyone around me accepted them too. In the community where I grew up, Gelassenheit often meant yielding with grace. There was beauty in that. There was comfort in that. Yet sometimes yielding becomes a habit so deep that a person forgets how to wonder aloud. I do not blame my younger self. Still, I see her clearly now. She noticed things. She simply did not follow those thoughts to their end. I also remained quiet. I also looked away. I also let life carry me forward. As the night deepened, I found myself thinking less about blame and more about burden. What if my father believed he was saving the farm? What if he believed he was protecting all of us? What if he saw no better road? I cannot know. He has been gone many years. Paper cannot answer for him. Yet I know this. Love does not always prevent poor choices. Fear does not always cancel love. Both things are true. My father loved me. I believe that. My father also allowed financial hardship to shape the path before me. I believe that too. Holding both truths together took longer than reading the receipt itself. So I folded the paper again, carefully, slowly. Same way my mother once folded fabric squares for that quilt. Then I placed it beside the lamp and watched the light rest across its worn edges. If you have ever found one small thing that changed a family story, you may understand what I mean. Some discoveries do not destroy the past, simply reveal another layer beneath it. I do not condemn my father. I do not excuse everything either. I only carry the knowledge now, and sometimes that is enough. The receipt stayed hidden in that quilt for 47 years, but the weight of it had been stitched there from the start.